But what percent of people in prison, of those 2.3 million people, uh, do you think are there for nonviolent drug crimes?
I would think it's probably at least a third, but I would bet it would be closer to half.
It's like 5 to 6%.
No.
So drug sentences in general are responsible for 16% of prisoners in state prisons, which is the vast majority of the
Right.
prisoner population. And only 5 to 6% of that group are low level and nonviolent criminals. So it's not just drug crimes that have
Has that
got.
changed? Has that changed recently, or is I mean, have we just quietly let out a lot of nonviolent drug offenders and I didn't notice, or were there never that many in prison in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I think just how insane it is that we lock people up for possession of marijuana or various other drugs has led us to think that that's a bigger part of the problem than it actually is. I mean, I think it's kind of a self-serving myth to tell ourselves that if we just didn't lock up people for nonviolent drug crimes, then our mass incarceration problem would go away. In fact, there were a couple of books recently. I don't have them handy right now that shows that if we really want to make a dent in the prison population, we need to not just stop putting people in prison for nonviolent drug crimes, but reduce the amount of time that people spend in prison for violent crimes.
I just Googled this, so here clearly is the basis of my confusion here, which is that in federal prisons, half of people are locked up for drug offenses. But as you say, there's only 200,000 people in federal prisons and nearly 1.5 million in state prisons. And that there, as you say, 16% have drug crime as their most serious offense.